Hi, welcome to Elizabeth Reads. Today we are going to read Tamsin Winters' Jemima Small versus the Universe. We are presently on chapter 33, Full Moon. When I woke up the next day, I was exactly 4,748 days old, or 156 months, or 13 years. I'd been on Earth long enough for it to revolve 13 times around the sun. I was officially a teenager, and that felt like something to celebrate. "Happy birthday, Gemstone," Luna sang as she came into my room, opened the curtains, and kissed me on the cheek. She always got up early on my birthday. "Your dad's just gone to get Nana. I hope you like it." From nowhere, she held up a zephyr blue dress. It's a color made from cobalt oxide. Hundreds of gold sequins sparkled in the sunlight. It was the kind of thing Emma Watson would probably wear on her birthday. Only my size. I got out of bed and gave Luna a hug. "It's amazing, Luna, thank you," I said as she helped me try it on. She made a few adjustments and hung it on my wardrobe door, ready for later, and then painted my fingernails and covered my eyelids in glitter. "Your eyes look brighter than the stars," Luna said, kissing my forehead. I looked in the mirror and blinked a few times. I couldn't see them sparkling, but I made a wish anyway. "Please let me not mess up Brainiacs." Downstairs, Dad arrived back from getting Nana. He said, "Happy birthday, sweetheart," and gave me a hug. "I'm sorry about yesterday. I may have slightly overreacted to your hair." "Slightly," I muttered, helping Nana out of her chair and onto the sofa. "It's nice to see you looking back to normal," Dad said. "Let's focus on having a nice day, shall we?" We all sat in the living room, eating slightly burned croissants for breakfast while I opened my presents. Dad handed me a huge box wrapped in silver paper. Inside was a bright pink neon light that said, "Jemima." "I'll put it up in your bedroom later if you like." "Thanks, Dad, I love it." I took a gulp of my fizzy apple juice because I could feel tears starting in my eyes, which wasn't a good idea because then I got hiccups. I don't know why a Jemima light made me want to cry. It's a stupid thing to nearly cry about. It's not even sad. But seeing my name written in pink neon from my dad, I felt like maybe Jemima was an okay person to be. "Here," Jasper said, throwing a parcel at me. "It's a unicorn that poops paper clips." Jasper always tells you what's inside your present before you open it. Nana gave me some book tokens, the same as she did every year, and Luna put a book-shaped parcel into my hands. "Is it called How to Become a Brainiac in 9 Days, I asked. Luna smiled. "No, but I know you'll like it." Nana said, "You could always buy that one with my tokens, dear." "Thanks, Nana." I pulled off the wrapping paper. "Star Atlas," it said in gold writing. "Your guide to the night sky." "Wow," I said, flicking through the pages of sky maps. "This is brilliant." The perfect guide for a stargazer. Luna looked at me for ages, like she knew exactly how many times I'd wished on stars. I put my cards up on the mantelpiece, trying not to think about the one from Mum that wasn't there. Every year I told myself it was stupid to think she'd send something, but every time that empty space in my heart filled up with the thought that maybe this year would be different. And then, when nothing arrived, I'd tell myself that maybe she hit her head and got amnesia, or lived somewhere that didn't have a postal service, like the International Space Station. But I can't ever make myself believe it. Dad put his arm around my shoulder and squeezed. "We'll have a great day, I promise. Hey, there's a present here you haven't opened." He picked up a green box from the side. "Oh, that's from Gina," I said. "And yes, I know, it's weird." "I don't think it's weird. It's really nice of Gina. Not quite the deranged fitness freak you make her out to be, hey?" I gave him a blank stare. "We don't know what's in it yet. It's probably a packet of buckwheat seeds." He shook it gently. Not sure," he said, handing it to me. "Feels more like tofu." I opened the box and held up a silver keyring with a star dangling from it. "Nice, thanks, GGB." I attached it to the zip of my rucksack, and that's when I noticed the writing engraved on the other side. "You are capable of amazing things." "Isn't that lovely?" Dad said, reading it over my shoulder, and I agreed with him 100%. I spent the rest of the day trying to beat my highest score in Scrabble until I'd beaten Dad 3 times and he forced us to go for a walk along the seafront. Then I beat Jasper at Zombie Crush in the arcade. The whole way home he said he let me win because it was my birthday, which isn't true. Even if I'd been dying of some terrible, mysterious illness and it was my last day on planet Earth, Jasper would still try to beat me at Zombie Crush. Later, when I was getting ready, Dad yelled, "Mickey's here!" Even on my birthday, Dad still yelled at me up the stairs. Just then, Jasper came out of his room wearing Granddad's old cape and a pair of sunglasses, saying, "Show starts in 5. It's getting a bit dark, Jasper, Dad said as we came downstairs. You still okay to do the show outside? I'm always ready, Jasper said, sliding down the banister. He clicked his fingers and a loud bang went off as tiny sparks flew out of his fingertips. Nana almost fell out of her chair. Jasper! Dad shouted, clutching his chest in shock. I thought I told you not to do that. He stood poised under the smoke alarm. When nothing happened, he said, Do I need to warn the neighbors, Jasper? Tell them to keep their pets inside or something? It's fine, Dad. That was the only loud noise, I promise. Happy birthday, Miki said, and handed me the most beautifully wrapped present I've ever seen. The paper was light yellow with tiny lilac flowers. Mum might have helped me wrap that. It's amazing, I said. I stood up and let the gold dream catcher dangle from my hand. Its long white feathers spun round and the tiny jewel sewn into the net caught the light. I love it, Miki. Thank you. It's supposed to stop you having nightmares, Miki said. But will it stop her from being a nightmare? Jasper muttered. Nana gave him the look, and Jasper quickly added, I mean, great gift, Miki. Really thoughtful. Outside, the sky was clear, so I pointed out the intricate patterns of the constellations to Miki, the Plough, Ursa Minor, and the great square of Pegasus, under the light of the full moon and the hundreds of tea-light candles in jars Luna had hung on the washing line. What's that flashing one? Miki asked. I smiled. Miki, that's an airplane. Dad did a drum roll on his thighs and pulled a piece of paper out of his back pocket. Jasper always printed out his own introduction. Please welcome to the stage, the astounding, the incredible, the enigmatic, the... Wait a minute, what does that say? He flashed the paper in front of me. I rolled my eyes at Jasper's blatant overstatement. Phantasmagorical. The phantasmagorical illusionist, Jasper Small. Jasper Diamond, Jasper shouted, and then leapt out from behind the fir tree, carrying an axe. Miki squeezed my arm. I couldn't tell if he was excited about the magic or scared for his life. Jasper's show music started and he tossed the axe high up into the air. Its silver blade glinted in the moonlight as it somersaulted 3 times and then transformed into a shower of shimmering crystals. We all clapped and cheered, apart from Dad, who was nervously sweating. Next, Jasper placed a silver box in front of him and danced around it. I had to bite my tongue to stop myself from laughing. Finally, he opened the box, and his tarantula crept onto his hand. Miki edged closer to me. Jasper raised and twisted his arms as Tornado climbed across his chest and then from fingertip to fingertip. Slowly, Jasper placed her inside a large glass jar. He screwed on the lid, then began to spin the jar in the palm of one hand as it filled with smoke. The jar went faster and faster, and I seriously hoped Tornado had a stunt double. Suddenly, the jar stopped spinning. Jasper took off the lid, and when the smoke escaped into the atmosphere, the jar was completely empty. Tornado had vanished. Bravo! Nana cheered as Jasper retrieved Tornado from one of Luna's pot plants. My teeth were chattering from the cold by the time Jasper performed his final trick, the vortex tube. I'd seen it loads of times before. He gets what looks like an empty tube, does his weird magical dancing as he fills it with colored handkerchiefs, and then he pulls them out and they are magically tied together. Only this time, each handkerchief had a letter sewn on it, so when he held them up, it spelled, Happy Birthday, Jemima. I guess Luna had helped him with it, but it was still a pretty good trick. Kind of phantasmagorical, actually. Afterwards, we squashed into Luna's car and drove up past the seafront to Banuccio's Pizzaria. The restaurant was warm and lit with millions of candles. A waiter smiled and led us to a table by the window. He moved a chair so I could push Nana's wheelchair in. Oh, isn't this lovely, Nana said. Your granddad used to take me dancing down there. She pointed to the Palladium and told us stories about all the stuff she did before she got so geriatric. I'm starving, Miki said, looking at the menu. Eat as much as you want, Miki. It's all my brother. Luna smiled at my dad. The waiter took our order, and Jasper tried to show off by speaking some Italian, which made him look like an idiot because the waiter said he was from Lyme Regis. While we were waiting for our food, Dad told jokes like, what do you call someone who doesn't like pizza? A weirdo. And I think the entire restaurant could hear Jasper's laughter. Jasper had been referring to his magic show in the garden as Le Grand Illusion all the way here, and I knew I'd probably be hearing about it for the rest of my life. It was wonderful, Jasper, Nana said. Reminded me of your grandfather. He'd be so proud. He wouldn't have touched that tarantula, mind. It was awesome, Miki said. You should ask Miss Nisha if you can do some tricks during the interval of Mary Poppins. But Jasper said, my magic warrants an entire show of its own. He turned to me and said, you know, Jemima, it's fine remembering facts and doing little brainiacs quizzes and stuff, but magic is a form of art. You're right, Jasper, I said. Your show was so incredible, even the English language doesn't have the right words to do it justice. I caught Miki's eye. Miki taught me how to say this phrase in Japanese, and it just seems like the perfect way to congratulate you. And then I told Jasper his show was a weasel's last fart in Japanese. Miki and I couldn't even look at each other without laughing until the pizzas arrived. Dad was talking about the sign for the new hotel he was painting, and I was about halfway through eating my pizza when I heard it. Maybe I wasn't supposed to, but I did. Well, they shouldn't bring her here, should they? It was a woman sitting a couple of tables away talking to her husband. No wonder she's that size if they let her eat pizza all the time. And then the biggest tut I'd ever heard in my life. Luna must have heard it too, because her hand clasped mine. I tried to act like I didn't care, but you can't hide your pain from a psychic, unfortunately, even if it is totally invisible from the outside. Don't listen. I'm going to send her some seriously negative energy, Luna whispered. You are amazing. She's lucky I'm in this wheelchair, I tell you, Nana said. Miki asked what we were talking about, but I told him it didn't matter. The murmur of the restaurant came back, and Jasper started complimenting his own magic show again. Nana nudged my arm and told me to finish my pizza. And I sat there, wondering how I could be made of 206 bones, over 600 muscles, 100,000 miles of blood vessels, billions of nerves, and trillions of cells, and have orbited the sun 13 times, but still feel like nothing. That's the end of Jemima Small, chapter 33. Bye-bye.